Hello, Grace. All right, let's go ahead and take a look first at your written rationale. Yeah, I think everything's making good sense here. The good thing here is that you're not making arbitrary decisions. The decisions you're making are based on reason, and as you've shown us here in your writings, and that's the important thing. I think from this week, I think it should be apparent that all decisions that you make on branding should be based on good, sound reasoning. You should have a reason for everything, and you should be able to express that reason should you be questioned about it. For example, you show your sketches and your ideas to an art director in the studio setting, and your art director says, "Can you describe the reasoning behind the color?" And you should be able to just exactly right at that moment, without even thinking about it, give your reasoning behind all of your decisions that you're making in any design job. And I think that your writing is showing that, so that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and jump over to the work. Now, technically, this is not a word mark. The reason it's not a word mark is because you've included this kind of shield here. So this would technically be more of a logo. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go through the class resources and some of the external resources that I've provided, and just go through and really get yourself familiar with the differences between a logo mark, a word mark, and a monogram. And I think once you do that, you'll understand that a word mark is words only, and maybe possibly a small little kind of visual that happens to be part of the typography. So, for example, the FedEx logo with the little arrow between the F and the E. That's a good example of how a word mark can have some other associated meaning. Hope that makes sense. But actually using something, and now if you have a visual element that's a result, or you have created something um, based on the typography that's already there, that would definitely constitute a word mark. However, adding a completely new visual element, that's not a word mark. Okay, so what you would need to do to create this as a word mark is just use typography. So the other thing I want to mention is that your spatial relationships are, I think it's, let me do this and I'll show you what I mean. Right now, I think that your text is really, really small in comparison to the G. And we can see that. I'm going to do this, and this is why I really like using Acrobat, because we can zoom out. When we zoom out, we can see, now we can no longer read the Guardian. We can certainly see the G, but we can no longer see the Guardian or read the Guardian or the security, um, network security. So that's telling me in terms of spatial relationships that the rest of the type is too small associated with the cap G, or the large G, I should say. So what you want to do is rework this. Go ahead and get rid of the shield, rework your typography so that when you do zoom out, it's still very, very visible and very readable. Okay? And those are my recommendations. So I would like to see a repost on this. This will have to be a full-blown word mark. And again, go ahead and review the course materials and make yourself very familiar with the differences between logo mark, word mark, and monogram. Okay, great job. If you have any questions, please let